só chegar a esta casa.
But I wouldn't trade that light for anything. Some people might think it dull or dreary, but it was ours. Master, I really truly appreciate that you want to help with the cooking. I do, honestly. But... this is apocalyptic! This is mutinous! This is an affront to gastronomy! This is unearthly disgusting!
Give me better ingredients.
What?
I am not a bad cook. These are simply bad ingredients. If they were better, they would taste just fine boiled. Boiled?! It's not as bad as you claim, besides.
You make a mockery of the culinary arts!
I've been eating this for years. I don't see the problem.
I've heard quite enough, Master. It sounds like I'm going to need to put your taste buds through some intense rehabilitation. I have to teach him what real food tastes like. Otherwise, he won't be able to appreciate it if I make him something really good. Hold the chair steady for me, will you? I'm going to wipe down the top shelf.
I can handle it. I'm tall enough to reach without standing on the chair.
It's not as simple as just running a rag over it. I've got to practice, so let me take care of it, alright? There's a lot more dust than I expected. I probably should have used something to cover my mouth. You're going to want to hold your breath for this, Master. Alright, here goes!
She's quite practiced. Is there any need for me to be holding the chair? Hmm? Achoo! Whoa!
Hold the chair! Ow! I'm so sorry. I didn't think there would be that much dust. Thank you for holding the... Master? Your hand is...
What?
Your hand, it's...
This is some
come
anime
on.
bullshit!
Come on, really? I'm not even gonna read that line.
It was an accident.
Right, it was. It's fine, really. It was my fault anyway.
Those damn anime physics.
It's completely, totally fine.
I can't even look her in the eye. Could this be any more painfully awkward?
So, don't worry about it, Master. Honestly, I should apologize for subjecting you to that.
That's easier said than done. I have to do something about this stifling awkwardness. For one, it was only for a moment. I barely even realized what it was. That's not the issue. I need some clever way to brush all this aside. Something witty that tells her I'm not bothered at all.
Oh god, do I even want to click through with this? This is gonna be worse than the stuff between Mel and the white-haired girl.
I'm not concerned. In fact, I see no reason to be concerned at all. It felt like I was an obese rat!
What? You have to reach! You have to reach to get something that bad! Oh my god.
Oh, he's so... Oh god, I love him. I hardly even perceived it as a breast. Rat.
An obese rat. An obese rat.
What?
How utterly insensitive can you be? I'm going to rip every last hair off your head!
Ugh, leave my hair out of this! Cut it, cut it.
Oh god. I knew it was gonna be bad, but I still wasn't prepared. Say, Master, what did you do all this time all by yourself?
That's an exceedingly vague question.
Say, when you were really, really stupidly bored out of your mind, what did you do to keep yourself occupied?
Meditate?
Just how many times have you reached enlightenment?
I sometimes play chess, too.
Chess? Wait, by yourself?
Yes, I imagine how an opponent might react to my move, and play the other side that way.
That's kind of depressing to think about. How about this, Master? Play a game against me.
Do you know the rules?
You bet I do. I do come from a family of merchants, so I keep up with trends in all sorts of games. Prepare to meet your maker.
So, who was I supposed to prepare to meet again?
Come on, have a little mercy, you trounced me. One more time! I just wasn't at the top of my game.
When am I going to meet this maker?
Well, once you put me in checkmate. One more. Hold on, that's not fair. Take it back. Ah, my king.
That's how I play Yu-Gi-Oh!
Please stop, my queen.
Amateur.
Can't you go just a little bit easy?
You never asked me to go easy.
This isn't a game, this is slaughter! This is one-sided massacre!
About this maker.
I'm looking right at him.
That was actually kind of fun.
No, it wasn't. It was miserable. Next time we're playing something fair.
Such as...
let's see. Oh, I know. Arm wrestling.
Huh? Arm wrestling?
Yeah, you sit across from each other, put your elbow on the table, grab hands, and see who can pin down the other.
Who would ever willingly participate in such a primitive competition? Does he even have any muscles to, like, do this?
Yeah, I was wondering the same, because she's mentioned him, like, being very skinny previous times.
His veggies?
Yeah, you're gonna regret not eating your parsnips, Michelle. Not interested then? Or are you afraid you might lose?
Alright then. I can't imagine losing to a woman. Oh.
Those fighting words. Okay, elbow on the table. Start on my count. Ready, go! Victory! Gonna eat your parsnips now, Michelle?
What the hell's going on?
I think sure.
Is he seeing his life flash before his eyes? What the fuck is happening? me.
Like, so I think what it's supposed to be indicating is just a bunch of time passing and then like showing the different rooms in different in light. Oh, a smile, like a genuine one. Or his life flashing before his eyes. I like that too.
With each passing day, it grew less and less than usual having someone, having Giselle always by my side. I began more freely engaging in silliness, speaking my mind and showing emotion. I could say her name, and Giselle would turn around and smile at me, an unimaginable sight not long ago. For 10 years. For 10 years I had lived alone. Solitude had been my norm. But that was very rapidly changing at her hands. We were continually growing closer, yes, but not in a romantic sense. If I had to describe it, I would say good friends was probably the most apt. Time continued to press on, our relationship remaining relatively stable. Eventually, summer came, bringing with it the longest periods of sunlight I had experienced in many years. Then the leaves began falling from the trees, and before long the world grew cold and dreary. That winter, the fireplace was never without a crackling blaze in its belly. The boiled wine we drank was undoubtedly middling and cheap. But she said with a smile, "I've never had wine this good before." And though I didn't say anything, I felt the same way. The sun set much earlier, and having stopped using candles, we found ourselves habitually gathering around the fireplace when it... Aww.
Aww. I want to look at that a little more. He looks so unsure. Reading a story by the fireplace like this almost makes it feel like we're in another world, doesn't it, Master? I bet that's why troubadours perform at pubs, so they can be near the fire.
Or because there's ale. Drunkenness makes even bad singing and storytelling pleasant to the ear.
Oh, you're such a cynic. But that's okay. Say,
Yes.
do you remember when I first arrived here? When I was cleaning the library?
Please don't tell me you're bringing the obese rat incident back up.
No, not that. Before that. Before we could actually talk to each other. I believe I suggested we read something together if you ever felt the inclination.
You might have. I can't say I remember.
Are you sure about that? You turned down my proposal, saying I was wasting my time. But look, it actually happened. Even if you don't remember, I'm sure you never thought this moment would come. I was, for the most part, focused on making sure things didn't get any worse between us. But to be honest, I didn't expect there would ever actually come a time we would sit shoulder to shoulder and read a book. You never know how things might pan out.
I actually do remember. I remember how I tried to push her away, how much I mistrusted her. I was nothing but hostile toward her. People change. And perhaps if they can, so can the future. Maybe I can hope that, like our friendship, there's a chance the future might take a turn for the better.
Is something the matter?
I don't much care for hypotheticals, but if by some chance I were someday to be able to return to that house, should that time come, that house is home to her nightmares. Even if it didn't happen until after my father was gone. It wouldn't erase what he had done to her there. She acts like nothing's wrong, though. I don't know. Have her wounds healed, or do they still remain?
Should that time come?
Should that time come, if that day comes, I will do what I can to ensure you have a comfortable life in this city. Though I will not be able to inherit the estate, I can work something out.
I see. Thank you very much.
But if you would be comfortable doing so, I would be pleased if you were to join me. I mean, as a servant.
As a servant.
Yes, a servant. We're, short on hands.
I see. A servant.
Do I really need to repeat myself? Yes, as a servant.
Alright, sure. I think I will. I would like to accompany you, Master. How exciting. I'm sure a wonderful future awaits us.
I pray so.
Now, back to the story. I believe we had just gotten to the point where the knight set out to defeat the monster and save the princess. I bet he was a big, buff, muscular knight.
Let's not talk about how muscular he was. She let out a gentle laugh, and I thought I smelled something sweet on her breath. Was it her scent? Or perhaps just my imagination? I had no way of knowing. We sat so close, even the slightest shift seemed sufficient to allow me to hear the sound of her heart, causing mine to accelerate. Curiosities flooded my mind. What might she be thinking right now? What does she think about me? And as much as I tried to banish them, I frustratingly failed. I was just getting caught up in the moment. I had just briefly lost my way. Though I tried to convince myself otherwise, it was all in vain. When had my pulse gotten so rapid? When had my skin gotten so flushed? When? How? Why was this happening to me? I thought I had already learned my lesson about having feelings for someone else. What? Before long, winter retreated and our second spring came to take its place. A full year had passed since we had resumed living together. And I don't think it was my imagination that this year felt much warmer than that. Spring seemed to have arrived a bit earlier than in previous years. One night, when the breeze carried on it a pleasant residual warmth, Giselle escorted me out to the garden.
Come on, Master, hurry up.
It's the middle of the night. What's so important?
I just found it myself. They couldn't wait until morning. A rose! It bloomed! It blossomed.
A rose? Giselle had, over the past year, cleaned up the nest of weeds that had been strangling the garden. Off to the side of a small pot of turned soil swaying in the wind beneath the moon was a single red rose. When did you...
Last year, I requested flower seeds, but I just couldn't get them to grow, and I was starting to think they never would. But look, it's only one, but it did.
I had no idea.
Of course you didn't. I didn't tell you.
Why would you keep it from me?
I wanted to make it a gift for you, Master.
What? Why?
Roses make wonderful gifts, supposedly.
No, that's not what I meant. Why me? I haven't given you anything.
Consider it A symbol of my hope that we'll still be this close another year from now. If we are, then this is yours.
I don't follow her reasoning. I don't follow it at all, but the sight of the deep red rose almost melting into the dark night was perhaps the most wondrous thing I had ever seen in my life. I had never understood why some people found flowers enchanting. They were always just plants to me.
Same.
But that one, on that night, was undeniably beautiful, majestic. And like a young child seeing a flower for the very first time, my hand automatically reached out for it. Not knowing the proper way to appreciate flowers, I didn't gently caress its petals or take in its fragrance, but snapped its stem.
Oh, you picked it. Are you going to bring it back to your room?
When I finally processed her question, that was when I realized I probably should have left it to grow in the garden. From the base of its stem where I had plucked it, a droplet succumbed to gravity and fell to the earth. With it came the delayed realization that I had just ended the plant's life. But it was overpowered by childish possessiveness. This stunning flower was mine. Moonlight trickled down from the heavens, giving a gentle bluish tint to my hands and the smile on her face.
You're going to need a vase then. Give me just a minute.
For the briefest moment, the moonlight must have played a trick on my mind.
Huh? Master.
What on earth am I doing? A look of bewilderment filled Giselle's face. From mine.
Well, she would certainly like a place like this mansion.
Yeah. Which hammered in the reality of what I had just done.
Oh, Vap.
The thought had just crossed my mind that perhaps her black hair might prove a good backdrop for the rose, but it was supposed to remain a simple fantasy.
What was that about?
An excuse. I need a good excuse.
Oh boy, bring out the obese rats!
A drawing.
A drawing?
Right, I would like to preserve it on canvas.
Alright, you've learned. What?
I mean, that a rose on its own does not make a very compelling picture. So I'd like to include you as an accessory. She's the accessory.
Wait, you want to draw me too?
Merely as a background element. You're slightly more interesting than a vase, that's all.
I've never seen you draw anything before.
I just never got the urge.
I hope they make us see his picture and it's just like a stick doodle.
With like a circle on the head.
Yeah. And like this giant smiley face and tiny body. You know how?
Many, many years ago, my brother taught.
I don't think I can handle being a model. I've never had a drawing done of me before. You would probably be better off with just the rose.
You gave it to me, didn't you? That means I am free to do with it as I please.
I did.
I didn't mean to sound so rude.
But it's just natural to me.
I had no real interest in drawing the rose. But I couldn't just take it back either. I mean, you could. And be like, oh no, oops.
Whoops. I'm gonna restart the call real quick. Alrighty.
Giselle had shrunk back quite visibly, and I couldn't bring myself to look her in the eyes. So I fled to the cellar in search of supplies to escape the oppressive awkwardness. At the far wall, I found a rectangular panel of wood and several sticks of charcoal. My materials were obviously nothing compared to what a court artist might use. But I was clearly not going to be able to do the portrait any kind of justice. God, what am I doing? Good question. I want to bury my head in the sand. Giselle was waiting for me in the stained glass chamber. It seemed she was still just as uncomfortable as when I had left her. She gave me a fleeting glance before averting her eyes again. If only she would laugh or make a scene like usual, it would make things so much easier. Why did she have to choose now to start acting meek?
What should I be doing?
Stay perfectly still, please.
Do you need me to pose or anything?
No, just get comfortable. Look away.
Why?
It's hard to work when you're watching me. What?
I feel like I have to sneeze.
Hold it in, please. What now?
Can I see it?
I've barely drawn anything yet. As long as our eyes didn't meet, I was able to observe her. And my gaze was quite clearly not focused on the rose, but Giselle. At first I had regretted my in-the-moment proposition, but I was beginning to think it hadn't been such a bad idea. Without some sort of pretext, I would never have been able to examine her so intently. I didn't have that kind of courage. This isn't like me. But what was like me? Did I prefer being a sharp-tongued, unapproachable recluse? Was that what I wanted to strive for? Giselle was like a gale. Her mere presence dispersed the gloomy cloud that always hovered around me.
Do you have anything near your mic? You're getting a little, like, a tiny bit
Robotic-y?
Not too bad, but just a tiny bit, like, almost echoey.
I don't have my phone with me.
Okay.
Thinking about it. Just let me know when it gets really bad. It's practically a miracle that we ever ended up so comfortable around each other. That she's still here right now. Light from the moon spilled through the stained glass window, taking on a multitude of pale tones before falling on her white skin and jade eyes. I had stopped sketching at some point. Well, oh, I thought that was me that went black.
Oh no. I was kind of thrown off. I don't know if it's just because I'm staring at the screen too long, but her face seemed to be, like, shifting a little. But
Really?
that's probably just me. I don't know. I need to adjust my glasses. They're, like, down my nose. What in the world was going on? One of my roses had finally bloomed, which I thought would put a smile on Michelle's face. But rather than improve his mood, it made him go off strange. It made him say he wanted to draw something. I'd never seen Michelle draw anything before. I can't sit still. I tried to sneak peeks of him every once in a while, but any time our eyes met, he gave me a stern, look that way stare. So I ended up spending a whole lot of time looking at the archangel in the stained glass window. What could he be thinking? Could this be a thanks for the rose? I'm pretty sure he's not the type who would consider a drawing an expression of gratitude, though. If I'm wrong about that, it'll turn my whole world upside down. Maybe he wanted to draw me. No, not possible. That would turn the world upside down even faster. He couldn't. We're close, to be sure, but we're not that kind of close. That makes it sound like Michelle's attracted to me. There's no way. There's absolutely no way. He compares me to an obese rat and calls me an amateur at chess, laughing while he crushes me. So that's not what this is it? Yes?
If it's too much trouble, you're free to leave. This will take a very long time to complete.
Oh, no trouble.
You had a very stern look on your face is all.
I was doing that bad a job at hiding it.
I don't want to force you to do anything you don't want. It was foolish of me to ask of you. I'm sorry.
Honestly, it's no trouble. I mean it. You just took me by surprise, that's all.
I'm not even that great of an artist to begin with. It's not a talent I was blessed with. If I'm being honest with myself, I can't imagine anyone would be pleased to have bad art drawn of them.
What? What's he getting so negative about? I wasn't the only one making a face. His head was turned slightly downward, a forlorn shimmer in his eyes. I'd never seen him make that face before. He resembled a child who had just been scorned by his mother. I wasn't at all angry or displeased with him. I was just fine, honestly. I had to get that through to him. I am pleased. It doesn't matter how it turns out. You drew it for me, Master. Whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. But the moonlight shining through the stained glass was so enchanting. I lost myself in it. I would be happy with anything drawn for me by the man I love. Well, damn, she just came out and said it.
A fairy of indeterminable origin. I am the Fairy King. I'm the entity that unites all nature's spirits. Oh, are you talking about Toan? Wait, I'm confused. Listen well, young one. Something bad has happened. Men blinded by greed have revived the Dark Genie. Quote unquote. This Dark Genie is terribly powerful. Its power is so great that it could destroy the entire world. You saw it. Your own village being destroyed right before your eyes. I guess that the chat's not as reactive as the live one. But because those aren't coming in on the... I think it's Streamlabs OBS is a little slower than the actual dashboard chat. So I'm gonna put dashboard chat up. I'm gonna even move it over. I'm gonna pop this out. If I can remember how to do that. Because I don't do that very often anymore. There, now you are next to the PS4. I mean PS2? PS whatever this is. PlayStation. The station where you play. Not just your village. In a flash, many villages and towns were destroyed. In one night, half of your world was annihilated. Gasp. Yes, we were just there, sweetie.
I didn't know you went up there.
It must be the men from the east that performed the resurrection ceremony. Probably thinking to use its black demon power for war without realizing how frightening it is. It is darkness, pure darkness itself. Long ago, this so-called Dark Genie almost destroyed the entire world. Its malevolence is that great. The bad thing is